I'm not saying that a park full of female dinosaurs will breed. I'm simply saying that life finds a way. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Thumb Together. Today, we're going to be talking about Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom together. As always, if you enjoy this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and give some love to that subscribe button as well. Some sweet prehistoric love. So we're on the 5th Jurassic Park movie. It still feels like the first one just came out. It really does. And now we're on the 5th one. This is kind of insane. Is this movie worth your time? This guy thinks absolutely. And that's not a super biased answer. I love Jurassic Park, obviously. I mean, who doesn't? But I was not the hugest fan of Jurassic World, the first one. I didn't think it was bad. I just thought it was kind of redundant. There were a lot of good ideas in there, but they weren't really executed to the best extent. I think they just kind of showed up and was like, here's a good idea. Here's a dinosaur that we created ourselves, and here's a guy who trains raptors, and here's this and here's that. And I loved the idea of seeing the park actually be running and open and having guests, because why not? That's the next logical step. So I liked all those ideas, but then they just kind of showed them to us and then stepped on the brakes and was like, okay, here they are. And now here's the plot of Jurassic Park 1 again. Ta-da! So I liked it, but I didn't love it. Now we got Fallen Kingdom. You know, I wasn't too thrilled with these trailers. I think Fallen Kingdom had some of the worst trailers of any blockbuster in recent memory. Like, they just were not... They were swinging and missing, man. It was just a constant foul ball, an onslaught of trailers that were just like, nope, uninteresting. I'm happy to say now that I've seen the movie, these trailers are not in any way indicative of the quality of the film. The film is much better than the first J-World. It is going to up the ante in every sense of the word. It's true good sequel power here. Everything is amped up, everything is made bigger, and everything takes the next step forward. Life found a way to progress. And by life, I mean the script. Your basic plot is just that there is a volcano on the island that has long been thought dormant, so John Hammond never thought to mention it, but now it has been reclassified as active, and in fact, it's ready to blow shit up. This volcano is waking up and it's very angry. It's got a cranky hangover, and it decides its best course of action is to explode and cover the entire island with liquid hot magma. And that's going to put all these dinosaurs at risk. So the plot of the film revolves around the debate humanity is having, because, you know, now everybody in the world knows about the dinosaurs, and humanity has this debate where it's like, do we let them go extinct again? Like, you know, they're going to go extinct again if we don't do anything. And that's kind of like what nature always intended. Or do we step in and save them and continue having dinosaurs around? They bring up the quote that John Hammond made at the end of The Lost World, which I think is very fitting, where he says, these creatures don't require our help to survive. They require our absence. So if we could just step aside and let them run their course, life will find a way. God, that quote is so good. So there are people who are quoting Hammond, and they're saying, you know, Hammond said we should just let them do their own thing and just leave them there on the island. And others, like the character Claire, Bryce Dallas Howard, who's, you know, she's very much an activist now. She's like, okay, I want to save these animals. I was this weird corporate shill back in the first movie. I don't want to be like that anymore. I want to be a good person. I want to save these animals because they're living things too. So it's these two sort of opposing factions of, do we save the dinosaurs or do we let them die? Some people try to go to the island to save the dinosaurs. What we see in the trailers with the volcano erupting and all the people in the hamster ball and all that crazy stuff, that's part of that expedition. After that, we get into big spoilers. So I can't say more about that. What I can say is that I'm very happy to report that for the first time, maybe ever, a Jurassic Park movie has major spoilers. If you look at the first 4 movies, I mean, you can even like back when the first one came out, you could pretty much chart the course in your head before you saw it. Like, okay, dinosaurs are going to chase humans around on an island. Some are going to live, some are going to get eaten. The end. You know, I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm not trashing the other 4 movies. I'm just saying that was the plot every single time. In this movie, I would say the first half of it involves that plot, kind of. And then the second half of it takes a turn, man. I was so thrilled by this. because we have a couple storylines going on. We meet a new character by the name of Benjamin Lockwood, and he was John Hammond's partner back in the day. And these two dudes, they were tight. They were the ones who came up with this idea and started cloning the dinosaurs and all that shit. This was their idea. It was Lockwood and Hammond for life. They had like their own gang signs, their friendship bracelets. I'm making those last two up, but you get the idea. They were tight. And Benjamin Lockwood lives in this ginormous mansion that I really want. And he's very old and he's in a wheelchair and he's sick and he's pretty much dying. He's on his way out. And he just lives in this mansion with his staff, and he's got a granddaughter, a little girl named Maisie, who lives with him. And she's this little precocious British girl, and she loves dinosaurs too, because who doesn't? Obviously, you have the stuff with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and them trying to, save the dinosaurs and all that stuff. But then you have this other plot entirely removed that they keep cutting back to every now and then, which involves Benjamin Lockwood and this little girl, his granddaughter. It's so mysterious. It's so cloaked in this air of eerie mystery. And no Jurassic Park movie has really felt that way before. Obviously, I'm going to say for spoilers what goes on in that storyline, but it's big. It's very big. The back half of the movie is full of answers to that, and it's full of what I have been wanting to see for like 10 years. Trust me, this is it. This is the J-World movie we've been waiting for. And of course, if you've seen the trailers, you know that Dr. Ian Malcolm is back. We got Jeff Goldblum back, finally. I guess that Independence Day resurgence check wasn't big enough. I don't know why that movie was made. But I'm glad we got Dr. Malcolm back, because I love Dr. Malcolm. Because of the way the trailers presented him, I guessed that scene where he's talking to like it looks like he's in a Congress meeting or something like that. I figured that would be his only scene in the movie. And I don't think it's a spoiler to say that is correct. That is his only scene in the movie. He is just speaking to Congress about dinosaurs, and that's it. He's not running around being chased by raptors. If you want to see Dr. Malcolm run around and get chased by raptors, there's a great movie called The Lost World Jurassic Park. You should check it out. It came out in 1997. Dr. Malcolm is not a main feature of this film. All right, let's get into spoilers, because I'm so excited that for the first time ever we have a Jurassic Park movie with spoilers. And the spoilers are not who gets eaten, because that's really not an issue here. The bad guys get eaten. Of course they do. Who else? The kids? The good people? No, they're not. The bad guys get eaten. You know that. This is our 5th time on this ride. You know that. No, the spoilers are something much, much better than that. They are things that push the world forward in so many wonderful, wonderful ways. First of all, Dr. Wu, B.D. Wong's character, is back, of course, thankfully. I know we expected him to be back, and he is back, and he's still greedy. He's part of this plot with a new character named Eli, who's the new villain, where they are going to pretend to send a team to the island to rescue the dinosaurs and bring them to a new enclosed habitat, where in actuality, what the team is doing is just capturing the dinosaurs and selling them on the black market to arms dealers. They're going to follow through with Vincent D'Onofrio's original plan and weaponize these things. Eli and Dr. Wong are in it together, and they're making crazy money. There's a dinosaur auction in this movie where they auction these things off to like the shadiest mofos you've ever seen. And there's just some guy, with like tattoos all over his face, and he's like, $4 million for the T-Rex. And you're like, oh my God, this is exactly what people would do. We suck. Humans suck. That's the bottom line. So that whole plot is happening, and Dr. Wu is still a part of it, but he gets away again. One of the heroes tranks him, and he passes out, but then one of the military guys grabs him and drags him away. So Dr. Wu lived to see another day. This guy is now tied with Ian Malcolm for the character who shows up the most in the Jurassic Park franchise. He's got 3 movies under his belt. I'm pretty sure we're going to see him again in the 3rd installment of this. He wasn't overtly villainous. He was greedy, and he was, mad about dem profits. But when it came down to it, he was the smart one. The other bad guys are like, let's make more dinosaurs and sell lots of them on the black market. What could go wrong? Whereas, meanwhile, Dr. Wu is sitting there, and he's like keeping everything in check, and he's like, this is not a good idea. We should not sell this dinosaur that we made. And that brings me to the second spoiler, was they made a new dinosaur again, the Indoraptor. At first I thought I was going to hate this, because I was like, it's the same shtick as before. It's the Indominus Rex again, but smaller. But I didn't hate it. I fucking loved the Indoraptor. It was horrifying. There were children in the theater, and I kept hearing this little boy. Every time the Indoraptor showed up, I just heard a little boy go, oh no, oh no. And I kept hearing this kid, and it was hilarious. I wish I could have seen his face. But the Indoraptor is this horrifically smart dinosaur, smarter than any raptor we've seen before. and it's big, and it's got this yellow stripe, and it just looks terrific. It comes in late in the game. Don't expect to see the Indoraptor until like more than halfway through the movie. But once he's there, he's there. And damn, is he ever there. And the Indoraptor has his own theme. Michael Giacchino's back, he's doing the music. And the Indoraptor's theme is so epic. It does not sound like a Jurassic Park music piece. It doesn't. It sounds more like Duel of the Fates from the Phantom Menace. That's the kind of theme this freaking dinosaur gets. And he earns it. So if you were worried that the Indoraptor was just going to be Indominus Rex 2.0, Indominus Rex is a pansy compared to the Indoraptor. Trust me. Then the big mystery surrounding Benjamin Lockwood and his granddaughter is revealed. And it is so great. Like I said, the implications of this are going to be staggering. Mr. Lockwood had a daughter, and she died fairly early on. Like, she died young. It's implied she died young. But she had, there's this granddaughter who is that woman's daughter. And now she lives with her grandpa, and, he thinks the world of her, and he loves her very much. And he says, every time I look at you, I see your mom. And it's a sweet story or whatever, but they make it clear right away that there's more to the story that we're not hearing. And he's got this photo album, and we don't see what's in the photo album, but the camera makes it clear that there's some shit in that photo album we want to see. And when we finally see it, the little girl steals it. Benjamin Lockwood gets murdered by Eli, because Eli's all about the money and the greed, and he murders him. And the little girl steals the photo album, she opens it up, and we see a picture of her mom, and her mom looks exactly like her. And I mean exactly. And that's when I clued in. I saw that picture and I'm like, holy shit, they're going there. And they went there. Benjamin Lockwood and John Hammond had a falling out. That was made clear early on, but we don't know what it was about. And this is what it was about. Hammond made the dinosaurs. Lockwood wanted to take it a step further, and he did. He made another clone, but it wasn't a dinosaur. He cloned his own damn daughter, made the little girl, and said, yeah, you're my granddaughter, because he just wanted to have his own little girl back. Benjamin Lockwood cloned a human being. There is a fucking human being clone in this movie, and that's why he and Hammond, they separated. Hammond said, I draw a line in the sand there. I'm not touching humans. They went their separate ways. So this little girl, Maisie, is presumably the world's only human clone. This is what I want to see, guys. Michael Crichton's stories are all about the hard sci-fi, so let's see the consequences of that get amped up. Westworld is doing the same thing. Let's see how far we can take this. How far we can push this scientific envelope. And Benjamin Lockwood pushed it, baby. So now this girl, who's a very sweet girl, and she's just like a normal kid. She's a clone. Obviously, she survived. The kids don't die in Jurassic Park. You should know this by now. She survived, so I'm hoping she's around again, because I want to know what this girl's life is going to be like. Then finally, we get the big papa. We get the moment I personally have wanted to see and have been waiting for like over a decade. The auction goes awry because the Indoraptor breaks free, and there's all this killing and carnage and whatnot, and all the other dinosaurs, there's I don't know how many they saved. They saved dozens of dinosaurs, dozens, and they're all locked up in cages. Jail area is filling up with gas, and the dinosaurs are going to die if they don't get out, and breathe some oxygen. And Bryce Dallas Howard has her hand over a red button. She opens the cages, but they're still, confined in this basement, and she has her hand over a button, and if she presses that button, the basement doors will slide open. It's like a loading bay door, and the dinosaurs can go out into the world and be safe. But Chris Pratt tells her, hey, if you press that button, there's no going back. You can't unpress that button. There's going to be dinosaurs everywhere. And she can't do it. But the little girl can. Because she feels them. Because she's a freaking clone like them. And she presses the button and she's like, they're alive. Just like I'm alive. They deserve to live. And the doors open and those dinosaurs go out into the world. And Blue, the raptor, she's still there. She's still kicking. She's alive. She saves Chris Pratt again. Runs off into the world. And we end the movie exactly where I've wanted this franchise to go. We are now living in a world where dinosaurs coexist with humans. It is essentially now Planet of the Apes with dinosaurs. And that's where we're going. That's what the state of the globe is going to be come J-World 3, which we have to wait 3 years for now. I have never been this excited for a Jurassic Park movie now, because I'm finally getting what I want. I've wanted the Planet of the Apes with dinosaurs for so long. I want to see Mad Max with dinosaurs now. I want to take this post-apocalyptic-ish world very far. And I'm really excited to see where they take it. This is the best thing a Jurassic Park movie has done ever, in my opinion. And it is the best Jurassic Park movie since the first one. Just for this story progression. Because like I said, that's what the other four lacked. They lacked story progression. They lacked spoilers. I mean, the first one had the first story, and it's like, oh, neat, this is really cool. A theme park with dinosaurs, but it's not going anywhere. They can't build it because shit went bad. Next ones were just, hey, let's send people back to the island and have more dinosaur fun. But there's no story progression. The fourth one, okay, the park's open. That's neat. But again, same thing happened, and now we got to close the park. So it's just like movie number one again. Now we're getting somewhere, baby. And J-World 3, as far as I'm concerned, cannot come fast enough. They spoiled this kind of really blatantly in the trailer when we see Dr. Malcolm talking to Congress and he looks right into the camera and says, "Welcome to Jurassic World." That should not have been in this trailer at all. The context of that, it's so obvious, maybe just because I've seen it, I don't know. But a human being just talking to Congress would not say "Welcome to Jurassic World" unless this happened. So what do I want to see in J-World 3, whatever it's going to be called? I'm putting money right now. It's called Jurassic World Extinction. Put money on that. Here we go. What do I want to see? Obviously dinosaurs would be nice. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas, I love them both. Bring them back. Why not? Maisie, the clone girl, 100%. If she's not in there, somebody dropped the ball. Now, this is just wish fulfillment here. But if you really want to make me happy, Colin Trevorrow, Ian Malcolm, Alan Grant, Ellie Sadler. Laura Dern is still working. She still looks great. Obviously, Ian Malcolm has proven he wants to be back. Get Sam Neill back on board. They don't have to run from dinosaurs if they don't want to. Just have them in a room together again. I just want to see them one more time before this franchise is over. And I'm guessing this next one that's coming is going to be the end. I just want to see them one more time. Please. Please. But that is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Definitely the best one since the first. I'm so glad that this movie exists now. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'm Andrew Fantasia. I'll see you here next time. And until then, adios.